This conference will now be recorded.
All right, good evening and welcome everyone to tonight's open house. So I just want to let you guys know you guys are in the right place at the right time. My name is Brandy Pembert and I will be your host. So before we get started, I'd like to encourage everyone to pay close attention to this information. The best way to pay attention is to take notes, and also please take notes if you guys have any questions because we will be answering them at the very end. The next order of business is to introduce our speaker, trainer, and coach. There's 4 things I could tell you about him. He knows 100% of the information. He makes a lot of money. He loves to have fun, and he loves to help people. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce Jeff Gamble.
All right, thank you so much. Brandy is my better half, my fiance, and we work together on a daily basis in some of our other businesses, including this one. So things actually don't happen unless she's involved. That's kind of how it works. Run it by her. She questions, comes up with different ideas, and that's how we put it all together. So hopefully you have somebody like that. If not, recruit them. That would be the way to do it, right? So here's what I'd like. Everybody who's on, everybody who's watching, everybody who's even watching the recording, what we'd like to do is share some information with you that was shared with us about an opportunity that you can take part in, and the goal is for you to learn about it, so if you do run into the right person, you have the ability to refer them to us. Now, some people on here will want to take part in portions of what we do. Some people might want to take part in all of it, but with that being said, let's get into it. The mission of putting the company together was to educate, equip, and empower entrepreneurs. I wanted to help people go out on their own and make more money. Our vision is to create financially independent servant leaders. What I found is people who financially are taken care of don't have to abide by, listen to, get up, and go to a normal job. If you have enough money to stay home and do what you want to do, it's very hard to influence you, right? And our purpose is simply to help people grow. I just want people to be better off than where we found them. The objective of my leadership network is to equip and empower independent representatives in direct sales and coaches with skills, tools, and strategies to help them build successful businesses. Our process is pretty simple. We invest in education, we learn skills and strategies, we create courses and events, we certify coaches and consultants and trainers, we equip people through our products and mentorship, we coach people through our community and our clients, we teach how to build successful businesses, and then we repeat that process. So that's kind of who we are and what we do. There's 6 areas to evaluate. I did not create this evaluation list. This evaluation list was actually created by Harvard School of Business and said, if you're going to look at any opportunity, these are the areas that you should focus on. So the industry itself, if you look at the market availability of what we do, if you just looked at the direct sales, network marketing, MLM industry, about 125 million people worldwide are involved. In the United States, 7.7 million people are direct sales representatives. What's interesting is I was doing some statistics last night, just finding out about the industry, and there's approximately 41 million people in the United States that are both representatives, customers, and preferred customers of companies. 41 million. That is a ton. Now, the industry of direct sales, if you look at why people join, now I used to close people on these 3 things, not even knowing that these are the 3 reasons why people get in. Number 1 is about 1/3 of reps in our industry join because of a discount. They get in because they can become a wholesale rep, whether it's, makeup, skincare, whether it's lotions, potions, whether it's, magical, whatever. People get in for the discount. They're like, hey, I love this product, I love what you guys do, and I want a discount. Second reason they join is for a plan B. Obviously, with what happened with COVID, people are just looking for options. That makes sense. And then the third reason, which I thought was always the first reason, is people actually join for money. And it's like, just a little bit above 35% for the first one, and then it kind of drops down. Now, here's what that meant to me. It meant that 2.5 million people in the United States and about 41 million people around the world need help. They need a coach. They need to know what to do. Now, why is that? These are the questions and statements that I've been told over the last 25 years from being in the industry. And they pretty much are universal. It doesn't matter what company, it doesn't matter what country, it doesn't matter what product line, it doesn't matter what compensation. These are the questions. How do I recruit? Who should I talk to? What should I say? Where should I get leads? What video should I send? I can't get anybody to watch the video. I can't get anybody to show up or sign up. My people won't do anything. I got a couple, but they're just not doing anything. My upline won't help me, or my upline quit, which I just heard that last night at about 2 a.m. from somebody. The company itself, I founded it in 2016 after becoming a John C. Maxwell certified speaker, trainer, and coach. And the reason I put this together is when I walked through the crowd at the John C. Maxwell event, there were about 2,800 people there. Here's what I found out about the coaching industry. A third of the people were there, especially for John Maxwell, a third of the people were there for the ministry. A third of people were there because they worked in some kind of job or exposed to John Maxwell, and they wanted to use it specifically inside of their company, their job, their organization that they're already part of. And then the last third of people were walking around with like this blind look on their face. And I would ask people, I said, hey, you know, I interviewed probably 4 dozen people over the weekend. And I would ask them, I said, well, you know, where are you from? How did you learn about Maxwell? And what do you plan on doing with this program? And everybody said the same thing. I don't know. I just like the opportunity to coach and train, and I want to do something in the field. So that's why I came. Most people had no clue. A third of people had no clue, no direction. So I put the opportunity together to build my leadership network to specifically help people in the direct sales industry in 2016. We launched as an affiliate program the beginning of the year, out of my own pocket, so there's no money owed to anybody. And we have the ability to go into over 100 countries in the world, obviously anywhere that speaks English. Information has the ability to transfer. So the products, I knew the number one problem in the industry was leads. This all comes from Gary Keller's book about Keller Williams, which is real estate, but in a way, he built a network marketing company in real estate. No leads means no sales. If we have to have leads, in fact, you might want to think of yourself in the lead business or lead generation business and try staying in business for very long without leads. I mean, that really applies to any sales job or any recruiting job. If you don't have anybody to talk to, it doesn't matter how great your company is. It doesn't matter how great your product is. And it doesn't matter how great your compensation plan is. You have to have people to talk to. So, the first product that we put together was the Unlimited Leads program. Now with that, you get a couple things. First of all, you get comped into MLM Recruit on Demand, their basic level, which gives you access to 2 different kinds of leads. Every single person also receives a PDF of the text message marketing system, a system that I use to recruit over 41 people in 5 months. 90 minutes a day, sitting at home, texting people. I would do it every day, 75 to 100 people a day. And Brandy and I would go on about our day, and I'd text people throughout, but we signed up 41 people in 5 months. It was really 4.5 months, but we'll just call it 5. Every client also receives access to our private Facebook Messenger group and page. And the idea is obviously the larger the database, the larger we build, the more profitable this product becomes, because there's going to be a bunch of information in there on how to do it. That program is $20 one time. The next product is our 10 Key Fundamentals. This is a weekly training we do every Sunday. It's virtual and it's recorded, so you can watch it whenever. And what it does is it goes over the basics of recruiting and team building, and then we focus on one of those areas every week. If you've been to any training in direct sales or network marketing, you're going to hear some stuff that sounds familiar. This is just very organized, the 10 key things you need to know how to do to build a very large organization. And what I mean by very large organization is not 100 people or 200 people. I'm talking about into the thousands or tens of thousands of people. And there's also a Q&A at the end of each class. That one's $29 a month. The next is the monthly marketing mastermind. I was just talking about February 26th, which is this coming Saturday, is this event where we're going to go over basically how to become an authority or an expert. If you want leads to call you versus you text messaging them or calling them or emailing them or Facebook message them versus chasing them, what if you had a system where the people came after you? What if you had 3 to maybe as many as 10 people reaching out to you every day saying, hey, I want information on what you're doing, Benny. I want information on what you're doing, Cynthia. I want information on what you're doing, Carlos, because I see this information that you're putting out every day. I've watched some of your videos. I've listened to some of your stuff, and I want to work with you. I mean, how easy would it be to build if people were calling you like that? The question is how do you get that to happen? And that's what we're going to go over in this monthly marketing mastermind. The first half is specific to that. The second half we're going over is going to be about TikTok. Brandy got on TikTok about a year ago after Gary Vaynerchuk says, go on TikTok, just create an account and do something. And she started creating accounts. And I believe she has a video now that is it 4.8 million views?
It just hit 4.7 million views right now.
4.7 million. Okay. So quite a few, you know, heading towards 5 million views. She's had video that's gone viral. She's getting a lot of interaction, tons of comments, but people are now reaching out. That's the key. People are reaching out to us. So we do a Q&A at the end of each event. That event is $100 a month. Because we do one like that every single month, and we're focusing on a different platform every month. Last month was Facebook. This month is TikTok. Next month is YouTube. So the products themselves. The next one is, the next 4 are all certifications. The first certification is the recruiting certification. That happens March 4th, 5th, and 6th, where we're basically going to cover history, statistics, philosophies, mindset, skill set, personality, everything from prospecting to presenting to promoting to profiting inside of your business. And we're going to live coach people on Sunday. So that's what the 6 is about, is really about live coaching and answering questions. So that way you know how to take people through this. This comes with a 3-ring binder. This comes with the questionnaires. It comes with the tests. It comes with the assessments. So that way you can take people through and understand where people are at. The first person you need to coach is yourself. That's what the coaching program is about. It's first about yourself. Then you're going to use that to recruit people. Then you're going to coach them. And if you're good at doing that and bringing people involved, we would like to hire you to come speak at our event. And if you go through the program and you're able to recruit and you're able to teach your people to recruit and we have you speak, then at that point, you're going to be able to talk to anybody you want to and actually charge. People will pay you money to learn what you know. So that program is $497 one time. The team building certification, this is always the next question I get asked, you know, inside of direct sales and network marketing. Hey, I got a couple people involved. I can't get anybody to do anything. What do I do? So June 3rd, 4th, and 5th, another weekend, we're going to go over in depth what to do with, you know, a team. What happens when somebody new comes onto the team? What are the 5 things you need to do right away? And check off, boom, 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 boom. Some people are doing 1 or 2 or 3 of them, which means you're probably only 30 or 40% effective of what could happen, right? Again, we're going to cover statistics and philosophies and the mindset, which you should be doing, and we're going to coach people on Sunday again. This is also recorded. It's also virtual. So if you can't necessarily hit any of these weekends, you can still buy the course and you can watch it at another time. That one's $997. The certified event building. There are sit downs, there are Zooms, there are kind of nuts and bolts trainings I've been to, there are product seminars that I've been to, there are open houses, there are trainings, there are regionals, there's team motivation. We did a couple team meetings that, you know, were about recognition. What are all the different meetings? Why, when, where, what, and how should you do them? What do you do before a meeting? What do you do after a meeting? What do you do during a meeting? What shouldn't you do during a meeting? How do you set up and schedule and negotiate events and event spaces? What are you looking for? What is the dynamic? Some people, and this is kind of how I asked the question to all my friends that made over 6 figures in the industry. I said, how did you learn how to do events? And every single one of them told me the exact same story. They said, well, I got in this company and I hung out long enough and I started coming to the meeting on a regular basis. And then eventually I started helping putting out chairs, and then I helped out with audio, and then I greeted people, or I helped with the door, and then they asked me to do a testimonial, and pretty soon I built the business and then I was a speaker. I said, so what you're telling me is if I want to learn how to do events, I have to be in the industry for like a decade or 2. I was like, that's probably not the most efficient way to learn it, right? And they're like, yeah, I never thought of that. I said, what if you go to a class for a weekend and know you're not going to be able to perfect all of it, but at least you know where it exists and why it exists and what to do. And when you get to that point, you could open up that 3-ring binder and be like, here it is right here. Here's what I need to do. Here's the checklist. Let's go through the checklist and set up your event and be effective. And some people are like, well, I'm already doing events. Why should I go through your program? That doesn't make any sense. I said, well, what if there are 10 things to do and you're only doing 3 of them? And you're operating at 30% of the capacity of what you could do. And they're like, yeah, I never thought of that. I said, what if we just gave you 3 extra points and you went from 30% to 60%? How much more effective would your meeting go? How many more people would you sign up or have in the room? It would be immense. I mean, it would make a huge difference. So that's what the certified event building is about. $14.97. It's one time. And then you have access to the recording indefinitely, obviously access to the PDF and the 3-ring binder. The last is growth and achievement. So this is the last question I always get from people who come at me and say, hey, you built these companies big and you have thousands of people on your team and you made this money. I'm stuck. Now, some people get stuck at $1,000 a month. Some people get stuck at $1,000 a week. I've had friends that get stuck at $1,000 a day. They're like, I'm making 30 grand a month, but I cannot get past. What do I do? Now, what's interesting is I've never made more than $30,000 in network marketing. I've made more than that in real estate, but not in 1 month in network marketing. And I always found it funny that people would come to me and they said, but you've learned how to do it in so many different areas. I think you could help me. And I'm like, it just so happens that my coach, one of the people I learned from, was one of the #1 coaches in the world. He worked for a gentleman by the name of Paul J. Meyer, and he worked for a company called LMI, Leadership Management Institute. And he was actually the president of LMI for 11 years. And during that 11 years, he brought in $750 million in coaching money. They were selling $50,000 to $100,000 packages per person on coaching. And I mean, I just know this because of the statistics. And you say, well, would it be worth it to make that kind of money? The average person they coached made over $250,000 a year. And the average performance increase was 27% more than the year before. So if they were making $250,000, take $250,000 times 27%. Was it worth to pay that amount of money? And the answer was yes in every case. Now, that's not, how our program works. What we do specifically with this program is it is basically a funnel system that I learned from him. What I learned from John Maxwell, what I've learned from these other programs, is there is kind of a funnel that you go through, big picture thinking, then narrow it down, narrow it down, narrow it down, narrow it down. And we're going to go through his achievement system, or at least pieces of his achievement system that we put together to make it easy, to make it simple. There's 10 areas of growth, there's assessments, there's a system to it. And what if you could systematically grow your business by numbers? Hey, here's what I'm doing. I need to increase this number and this number. Here's how to track it. And get yourself on the ball. And here's the thing, you really don't need an upline once you know how to do this. Now, if you have an upline, it's helpful, but what I'm saying is you won't have to have somebody there to hold your hand and do everything once you learn this. So that program is $19.97, which brings us to, here's the whole thing, unlimited leads. The 2 in red are monthly, everything else is one time. Now there's 2 ways to earn money with this. One is become an affiliate. If you become an affiliate, every single product has compensation to it, and you can become a certified coach, and that's a whole nother way to make money. Now, the affiliate program works like this. Each product has a commission to it. If you own the product, you can turn around and sell the product. It's a passive compensation plan, which means if you don't own any of the products, in between, it just goes up to the next person who owns it. And this is a compressed income plan, which means when somebody goes out, that group below you just moves up to you. So here's how it works. This at the bottom, we are a peer-to-peer payment system. What that means is you do not pay corporate and corporate pays you, or your client doesn't pay corporate and we pay you. Your client pays you directly. Now, here's the benefit of that. That means you get your money right away. There's no wait time. You also get to choose how you receive the money. So whether you want to be paid by PayPal or Cash App or Venmo or chickens, I mean, you get to decide. I'm just saying. Don't don't get paid in chickens. Well, I mean, unless you live far enough out. So 100% commission on the Unlimited Leads program. So $20 pays out $20. Everything else we do is an 80% commission, which means if you sell a $29 a month key fundamentals and you also own it, it's $24. If you sell the $100 mastermind, you receive $80 a month per client that's in that program. So the way that this is set up, other than the very first one, is if you sell two customers, you break even. Certified recruiting coach pays out at $400. Certified team building coach pays out at $800. Certified event building coach pays out at $1,200. And finally, certified growth and achievement pays out at $1,600. So an all-in commission would pay you $4,100. What about making money as a coach? So there are different things you can do in a coach. You can become a one-on-one coach. You can do group coaching. You can do motivational speaking, host events, host virtual events, online workshops. You can write books. You can do digital courses. And this actually comes from the International Coaching Federation. The average coach was charging $235 an hour and working a little less than 30 hours a week. How many people like that schedule? Less than 30 hours, work from home, set your own schedule, and make over $235. Now, there are coaches out there that charge more, right? And there are coaches out there that charge less. But this is just, what if it was $100 an hour? Wouldn't that be better? Next, the timing. So I got asked, when I shared this initially before we created the company, they said, well, Jeff, do you really think people will keep coming back? And I said, well, here's what I know. You probably have a different TV than you did 10 years ago. You probably don't have your DVD player anymore, your CD player. You probably have a different cell phone than you did 5 years ago. You probably don't even have a home phone anymore. Your skincare changes, your hair care changes, your home care changes. But one thing that kind of stays the same is personal development and growth. Right? People are still going to Tony Robbins' seminar 40 years later. People still listen to Zig Ziglar. How many people know who Zig Ziglar is here by a show of hands? How many people know who Les Brown is? Les Brown has been in the industry for over 40 years. Zig Ziglar was in the industry for over 40 years, has passed away, and people are still listening to his stuff. Jim Rohn has been passed away for now about 5 years, and people are still listening to his, over 10 years. And people are still listening to his stuff. Personal development does not go away. Why? Because if you look at especially if you look at direct sales, 50% of the industry changes over every year. So 50% of the people coming in may never have heard about Jim Rohn or Zig Ziglar or Les Brown, or I've met people who don't know who Tony Robbins is. They've been in our industry for a while. They just have never been exposed to any of this information. So it's never going away. There's always a new market. So we do have a founder's position. One thing I realized right away is we were going to need testimonials. And what is a better way to get testimonials than people who want to invest and go all in and experience the whole thing and then turn around and say, hey, here's what I learned. Here's what I got out of it. So we discounted the $5,100 to $997 one time, which means you will never have a monthly with this. This is you're all in permanently as a founder. We were able to market 13 of those positions in the first 50 days. There are 100 total of them, and when the 100 are gone, that price is going to change. We also, and we found this out through, I don't remember if it was Cynthia. Did you tell us about this, or was it Teresa? It was Cynthia, yeah. She was the one who said, hey, did you know through PayPal, they actually offer 6-month interest-free financing? And I didn't even know that. Now, I will put this out there. You have to have a 700 credit score to qualify for it. But if your credit score is 700 above, great. If not, we have 15 other options to be able to finance anything over $100. But that's basically how it works. The all-in discount is also a product that you can turn around and sell, and you'd earn $800 for marketing somebody all in. Every single week we do a training. The next training is actually, this was last week's, this was the 7th. This coming week's training, which is lesson 8, is actually the monthly mastermind. So that's what we're going to do. And then every week on Thursday, we do this open house. So that's kind of who we are, what we are, why we do. Real quick, I'm going to have some of the founders, some of the people who are all in, just kind of share their name and their background, and really why did you go all in? You know, what did this mean to you? What were we going to be able to help you out with? Benny, can you start us off?
Absolutely. Benny Boyle, St. Louis, Missouri, background military and network marketing. What brought me to my leadership network was the systems and process and the testimonials of evidence that it's proven to work. And that's what I felt like I needed, and it works well with what I like to do. And it also is video, as well as you don't have to be there personally to get the information. So with that, that's what brought me to my leadership network. Thank you.
Cynthia, Ricardo, James, anybody want to share? Cynthia?
Hi, this is Cynthia Williams from South Carolina. What brought me to my leadership network is the coachability, the coaching status that I got from Jeff. And I knew in order for me to get to another level, I needed a good coach, and the information was on point. So I just decided to go all in and see what I can do to make my life a whole lot better. And I've enjoyed it and learning a whole lot. Back to you, Jeff.
Awesome. James, Kim, or Ricardo, either one of you like to share? Available?
I am Ricardo Brown, Lexington, Kentucky, background and logistics, and also MLM. I became a part of it because it just makes sense. You know what I mean? So when I started network marketing, I had those problems, right? And listening to your trainings, it's literally got me out of that rut, right? So I know anything that you are a part of will succeed. So yes, I am all in. I'm excited and I'm ready to grow. Turn the call back over to you, brother.
Thanks, sir. James?
Yeah, hi, James Kim from Los Angeles, background in property management, mark. The reason why I decided to go online was because a couple of reasons. I've known Jeff for a long time, and basically what the training and the strategies that my leadership network provides is something that I've been looking for. Over 15 years that I've been in the industry, and yeah, to me it was a no-brainer to go all in. Just the savings that you get for a lifetime of just education, and also to have the ability to bless others who also is seeking this education and knowledge.
Awesome. Well, guys, I appreciate everybody on here. Like I said, all the reps that are available, I'm giving out 1,000 work from home leads. I'll be sending those out to you, and I have 1,000 from last week too, because I was looking at that and I didn't get the list in time. So we'll be giving those out. Appreciate everybody for jumping on. If you have any other questions, feel free to message us, reach out. We will be around and available. Other than that, I want to get everybody back to doing whatever they're doing. Work your business, spend time with family, whatever you need to do. Watch that next show of Lost or whatever you guys do. I had some people that like, I'm watching reruns of Lost. I was like, they found them. So that's it. Appreciate everybody. Thank you guys so much. Until next time. Recording off.